Hi guys, my name's Adelaide and welcome to Adelaide Stitches. This is my YouTube channel where I talk about cross stitch. Today it is June the 13th. It is a Friday. Should be stitching on something spooky tonight, I think. And it is about 11 o'clock and I thought it would be nice to hop on and talk about my stitching and do my weekly stitching update. And I'm very excited because I have an FFO. I think I have 4 finishes. Four finishes. Like, this is never ever gonna happen again. So I have to enjoy it right now. And thank you so much to everyone who watched my mid-year whip parade and my whip down plans last week. I really appreciated all the support, the kind comments, the suggestions. It was really, oh, hello. Amber wants to say hello as well after she was such a star and got so many lovely comments too. And yes, thank you so much. It was just really lovely and I really appreciated it. And the whip down plans have helped. I mean, 4 finishes. Yeah, I can't I can't argue against that, so I'm very excited. I also have some usual stitching to talk about today and let you know how my whip down plans are going. I have a tiny bit of haul and I have a framing tutorial. So my FFO that you will see, sneak peek, look, oh, helps if you don't have a thread on it. I have at the end of this video put in a little tutorial of how I framed it. So if you're interested, because I frame, I guess you'd say quite cheaply, and I do it myself, and it is, I wouldn't say temporary because I have had pieces up since 2022, but I can easily unpin it and take it off and change the finish if I want, frame it differently or put it in a project bag or make a quilt or do what I want. So I really like that temporary aspect of my framing and I think it looks quite good. And this is going to go up in my Christmas wall, which I'm very excited about. I'll see, am I brave enough to move the camera? There we go. That's it so far, so I'll have another one. So let's talk about it. How's that? Hopefully you're not too seasick. Okay, so let's first talk about my FFO. Ta-da! This is Holiday Glow by Satuma Street. Isn't it beautiful? And after doing my mid-year whip parade and going through my finishes I'd done this year, last week, I thought I have to get this up. It's going to look so amazing on that wall. So I did it. It is framed. I'm hoping, fingers crossed, to do 1 FFO a week. That would be nice, but we'll see how we go. Famous last words. This is stitched in the called for, so the DMC that was called for and the metallic threads. I love how it came out, and it definitely was worth the metallic threads. Like, I know they're not fun to stitch with, but it is so beautiful. I hope it comes across the shine because I just love it. And it is stitched on 14 count Aida, hand dyed by me. And yeah, I love how it looks. I love how it came out. I love it in the white frame. I think it really makes it pop. And yeah, I'll be excited. I'll show you next week. I will have it up on my wall. So that is my first FFO. Okay, so now let's get to my mere 4 finishes. I know. So if you have watched my whip parade, my mid-year, you will know that I organised my whips into, as I said then too, forgive my messiness, into a spreadsheet. And I have categories, so I have special, so ones I can stitch on whenever I like. I have small, I have large, and I have BAP, the really big ones. And the ones highlighted were the ones last week that I had of each to work on them. I had organised them by the number of stitches I had left. And so that is how I stitched this week, and that is how I did my finishes. So I probably did focus too much on the small category, but I was excited. And I know once I get to having a lot more stitches to do, it will change and I will cycle more between the large and the BAP. I did touch them and I'll show you what I did, but not as much I think as I usually do on larger projects. So let's get to it. My first finish that I had this week, I'll just get my board. is my Paddock Lane snowflake ornament. Now this was from their Patreon, their November Patreon ornament, and I did one in December this year. I started, but I never did the other one because you do it double-sided. I'll put a picture up so you can see and hang it on your Christmas tree. Isn't it beautiful? And here it is. I finished it, beads and all. So I am so pleased. My estimation was right. It was just over 100 stitches. So it really did only take an evening. I don't know why it was hanging around for so long, but it is finished and I love them. Oh, they are gorgeous. And now I just need to figure out how to get it into here. So I know Lisa gave some great instructions. So I will be getting them out and reading what I have to do and figuring it out, and I guess cutting this mat board, and yeah, I'll let you know. And I've even got the ornament pack came with the kit, which yeah, just fantastic, and it even came with a little bit of wadding to pat it out and everything. So this is stitched on 28 count opal lugana aquamarine by Paddock Lane Designs. Isn't it beautiful? I love this fabric, and the kit came with a green jade green silks for you. I don't know what number it is, but it is stunning. In fact, I'd go as far to say, I mean, look at my outfit, this could be my dream thread fabric combination. If only I knew what the thread was. I'll have to ask Lisa at the retreat, but it is so beautiful and I definitely need to get more of this fabric. So yeah, that is my first finish. So that was exciting. It feels good when you finish something, and yeah, it'll be interesting. I'll let you know hopefully next week. We'll see. It's FFO. We'll see. Haven't had an FO for months. FFO for months. I do one and I'm like, oh yeah, every week, no problem. Nothing wrong with that. And then my second finish was a bit more stitching. It was this super, super cute pattern, a paper pattern that was sent to me by Sherry. Thank you so much, Sherry. I enjoyed finishing this so much this week. I have been stitching the bee. Isn't she gorgeous? And this is how mine looks. And I roughly counted being a paper pattern, and I did 700, just over 750 stitches it looked like. So that was finishing back stitching the bee, a bit better than last week with the back stitch in the wrong place. And I did all these beautiful flowers all the way around. And how gorgeous is that bee? I just love it, and I love it on this blue colour. This is 32 count deep Seaglass by number 12 Stitch Co, who's an Australian linen dyer, and I used the call for DMC. And yeah, I love her. She looks fantastic. I'm thinking one of my circular ornaments to finish her. Wouldn't that look cute? But I did originally say I'd do her as a drum. So I'm torn. I have seen it finish the drum and it looks fantastic, but as soon as I finished it, I'm like, oh, wouldn't that be the cutest ornament? And usually with my ornaments, I like, if they're not on a tree or something, I hang them over the edge of a frame, just the corner, and they look really cute. And I do have a few bee pieces, so that's what I'm thinking at the moment, even though I did start it for Ro's birthday sale to try something new from Ro's Crafty Corner. I'll link her and Kylie's channel below. Yeah, we'll see, but another finish, I will celebrate that. I am very excited and pleased. So that was 2 finishes off my small pile. So what, I was 46 whips, that brings me down to 44. Okay, so then I was on a roll, so I had to go to my next one in the list. So the next one with the least stitches I had listed was, just putting the wrong one there. And this is another paper pattern. I'm just looking for where I put the picture of it because I wanted to show you, because it's finished as a stitching compendium. Oh, it fell down next to me. Whoops. So this is my next one. Isn't it beautiful? This is Stitching in the Mountains. It is by Mojo Stitches, and it was my first retreat piece that I ever did in 2023. And this is how it's meant to be finished. That's why I'm holding it so closely so you can see. A really cute stitching accessory. Now I'm going back to this retreat at the end of this month. It is 2 weeks today. Oh my gosh, how did that come up so fast? Am I ready at all? No. But anyway, I will get there and enjoy it, I'm sure. And I finished it. So this is how it is looking. Okay, I'll admit it's not exactly as charted, but it is done. It is done. I got a bit lost down here with the counting. This is on 36 count linen moon jelly, which I never stitched on a 36 count linen before this. And you do it with one strand using the Cottage garden threads, and it came out lovely, but I did find the counting a bit tricky. In the end, because usually I stitch in hand, in the end I put in the Q-snap and it made a big difference. I think having the fabric taut and stretched out so I could see the holes and count the threads, yes, that really helped get it done. But yeah, I'm so excited this is finished. I mean, it's been nearly 2 years in the making and I really want to have it FFO'd for the retreat. So the countdown is on. Can I get it done? At the very, very least, if I don't, I can show you Joanna and go, I finished it. But I think it'll be really useful actually to have at the stitching retreat as that little stitching accessory holder and putting all my little things in it. So yeah, I'm really, really pleased with this. Once again, paper pattern, I don't know, I estimated like just over 1,000 stitches because it did seem like quite a bit. I had the border, I had the stamp, isn't the lyrebird cute? The postmark, and across the bottom and the hearts, just bits and pieces. I actually found I had a few centers of flowers to do as well, and I will admit I didn't stick to the specialty stitches in this. I just put crosses in. So I'm a cross stitcher, what can I say? The flowers have cross stitches in, unlike, where's my very first ones? Here we go. Can you see the satin stitches? Yeah. But I am really happy and I'm ecstatic, and that helped me get it finished. So yeah, it is what it is, and yeah, I'm pleased with it. So that was my third finish. And then the next one I had in the list was this one. And I was so excited because I managed to get it into markup, and I think that helped me finish it. And after the paper patterns, it was a nice change. So this is Hugs and Kisses by the Frosted Pumpkin Stitchery. Isn't it cute? I started it in my 14 days of Valentine stitching in February, and it was really nice to get it done. When I put it into markup, it told me that it was 1,900. I wrote it down. Let's have a look. 1,919 stitches. So actually it wasn't very big. I'm not sure why it was still hanging around. And what did I do? So I did 561 stitches one night, and I did 500 stitches the other night. So yeah, just over 1,000 to get it done. Yeah, so no, really pleased. How cute. I'm going to do it in a matching cushion because I've done the strawberry one in the series, and they are going to look so sweet together. Yeah, actually my kids always carry around the strawberry one, so I know once this one's finished it's going to be who gets in first, who gets to carry it around and put it with their soft toys and yeah, and play with it, especially with Hugs and Kisses and Candy Wishes. That's right up the street. So really pleased. Oh, this one is on 28 count antique white lugana, and I use the called for DMC. So really pleased. That one. So that, wow, I rushed through them. I was just so excited. That is my 4 finishes. And what else have I done this week? So I have gone on to my next small kit in my list. And actually with 4 finishes, I am now down to 42 whips, active whips. So I am excited about that. My next one, oh, I left over there. So I am just gonna swap my piles, my finishes for my whips, and be back in a sec. Okay, so I'm back and I've got the next whips that I worked on. And the next one I went to was, actually, no, it wasn't a small, it was a large project. because I wanted to get some work on the first large. I have estimated, because this is paper patterns, I should tell you what it is. This is Lindy Stitches Black Cat Season. I'll put a picture of it up. So it's 6 patterns you can buy in a bundle together, and you can stitch them in the bell pull, which is what I'm doing, or you can just buy one and stitch them individually. They're all super cute and black cat themed, which is very important in my house. As you see, I have Amber here today. Can you see her? There we go. She goes, leave me alone. I'm here and I'm happy. And Jet is my other black kitty. So this is, oh, sorry, I've had my needle minder stick together, which is very helpful. So this is what mine is looking like. It is on 18 count Aida, hand dyed by me. I did it on the 18 count because that's how I could get the long enough length. It's called a skinny quarter. They cut it along the meterage, apparently. I haven't had one of those before, but yes, so I just bought 18 count and dyed it myself because I thought, oh, that's going to be tricky to buy in Australia. So this is what I went to next. Actually, once again, I was stitching it in the Q-snap. I really haven't stitched much in hand this week, but that's okay. It's winter. I think because it's much darker, we don't have much light, especially at night. I'm just finding it easier to have it that way. And I did the next border. So I am pretty much stitching this with the called for DMC. I know there are a lot of overdyes in the pattern, and the DMC version you actually have to go to her website for it. It's where her free borders are to put between the 6 patterns. So as I said, mine is pretty much the call for DMC except for the orange. So she calls for an orange called Autumn Leaves. I think it's a classic Colourworks. Not 100% on that. But what I did is I just picked out 2 DMCs. So I am using, and they're kind of next to each other in the colour wheel. Go 722 and 721, and so I just use them where I feel it should go. So as you can see, I put the lighter one in those little kind of stars around the cat. I thought it looked cute, and I used the brighter one in the border, and I am really happy with that. I think it's looking fantastic in the DMC. So that was exciting to get some more progress on this. I did only do 1 border, but better than nothing, and I am hoping to get a good start on the next pattern below this week. So that, I guess, would be under a plan. Then as well as that, I was good and went to my next small project, which I have quite a bit more left on, and it's a paper pattern, and it's a Bothy thread kit, which, as you know, I simply adore their backstitch. I love their kits though. They are so cute and so happy and so fun. So I have started on Row of Dogs. I'm wondering how bold am I going to be? Am I going to say you'll see it as a finish next week? I mean, it's my next small project. So if I'm going to have a finish, this is going to be it. So we will see. We will see. I've put it out there now. And I had stitched all the way across to Robbie, and I started on Frank. So you're going to see this one's in a Q-snap too. That's what I've done. Aren't they cute, the doggies? Oh, they're gorgeous. I'm not sure how many I've left. How many did I estimate? Because it's a paper pattern. Row of Dogs. I estimated 1,000. I think I've got more than 1,000 left actually. Looking at, is it 5 dogs? 4 dogs, some accessories, and the names. So yeah, I think it might be more than 1,000. But anyway, I have started. The Dalmatian, cute. His name will be Frank. How nice will that be? And actually, I've not only seeing in the holes, I found it easier in the Q-snap. This is 16 count Aida that came with the kit. This doggy is done in Lana thread. So I don't know if you can see, I used 2 strands of the grey and the white Lana thread. It came in the kit. Sorry, I hope they had that in the right place. And it is really thick. So I found it good to have in the Q-snap because you can really pull it through. Well, the DMC, not as thick and glides a lot more easily. But I think it looked really good. I really like the texture. So yeah, that was fun. It was good to get back to that. I mean, it's a black and white paper chart, and obviously there's one chart for the cross stitches and another chart for the back stitching. So I've got a bit to go, but yeah, that's okay. I'm pleased. It looks good. This is my mum's favourite project, she's told me. So I thought, oh, okay, I better get it finished. It's been long enough. Did I say it was 11 years? 12 years? I thought I started in 2011. Oh, wow, 14. Yeah, okay. It's been a while. So it's time. Time for this one to get some love and hopefully get finished. And then, as well as that, I got out a BAP to work on, and this is my Witchwood Express, which I am determined, it's the one I have the least amount of stitches on, and least amount of stitches left to get done, which is hard to believe. I mean, it's not a small amount. I wrote in my notes last week, it was 62,826. So that is quite a bit left to do on it. But out of my BAP projects, the really, really, really big ones, that's the least amount. So I need to get a page finish on this before I move on to the next one. That's how I decided to go with my BAPs. At first I thought, should I try and stitch BAP monogamously on it? And I thought that's not going to happen. Be realistic. So this is where I am up to. I'm just looking for my book. Oh, there it is. It fell down. So I did on this 257 stitches, which I know isn't much, but I'm trying to finish the page. So I really worked at filling in there, and most of them were like 1 or 2 stitches. It was confetti heavy. So it doesn't seem much, but I am really glad that I have finished that bit, and I'm hoping the rest of the page is like in that train, and it does look like the confetti eases up a little bit and I have a few more blocks. So that will be a relief. I mean, when you get to the end of a night, I was like, oh, I've only done 257 stitches. That didn't feel that great, but the confetti has to happen sometime, doesn't it? So it is good to get it done. This is Mini Witchwood Express by Lisa Parker from Heaven and Earth Designs. Hope I mentioned that before, but I don't quite remember. And it is on 28 count lugana. I'm using the cord 4 DMC, and it's 2/1 tent stitch. So you can see the half crosses. I am really pleased with how it's coming out. I think it looks great. For my other BAPs now, I do them on 25 count rather than 28, just because I feel that 28 is too dense for me. It's really hard pulling some of those confetti stitches through, but it does look really good. So yeah, it was nice to get this out and work on it. So the page I'm going for, I think you can see the line. So it finishes there, and where's my blue? There you go. So it's like, it like comes down there. So I am nearly at that second page. I won't say by next week, but it'd be nice to have a lot more progress on this. And because I have less quick small finishes to get through, I mean, I'm still hoping to do work on my smalls, but yeah, I thought this is going to get more love. All right, and then as well as that, I worked on one special project this week. And this was influenced by Samantha Bailey, who's a really, really lovely cross-stitch friend. And she sent me a picture of her a year in stitches. And she was excited because she lives north of me, but where it's quite cold, still in New South Wales. And she'd actually got her first under 10 degrees Celsius day in. And because we're in winter here, and I thought, oh, I want to look at my weather and find out where we're at. So I didn't get that far, but I did finish a row. So this is where I'm up to now. And I will link Samantha Bailey's Instagram below. She has some really lovely projects, and she's just been so kind and generous. She is the one who not only made me that really lovely Christmas bag I have shown before, but also this stitching board, which is just so useful. And I should put my stitching now on it. Here we go. That's better, isn't it? So yes, I finished this row, and as you know, I put a bead on the first of each month. So I had done April, I started May. So that is better than nothing. I am pleased. A Year in Stitches is by Caterpillar Cross Stitch. It is a free pattern you can get through signing up to their newsletter through their Facebook page. I'll put the instructions below. Mine is on 28 count ice blue lugana. I'm excited. I think another row and I'm up to doing the sun in the middle, which I just feel will make it seem more complete and give it more character. But my stars are looking good, and as you can see, even though I've only done the beginning of May, we're getting to more blues. So I am going to have quite a colour change soon, especially when I get up to this week in June, because it's been very cold this week for us. I know, not for not for hardcore winter Northern Hemisphere people who do it tough. I mean, we don't even get snow here, but for us, it has been cold. So yes. Excited about that. So I think that is all my stitching this week. So yeah, not bad. I'm pleased with the finishes. So I would like to do more on my larger projects, but I'm hoping this week I will get there. What are my plans? So obviously Row of Dogs. I'd really like it to be finished, so I will work on that. I'll work hard and see where I get to. The next large project after Row of Dogs is A Mermaid's Life by Tiny Modernist. I'll put a picture of that one up, and I'm about 1800 stitches away from a finish. So I don't think I'll get this one finished too, but if I get Row of Dogs finished, that's what I will be moving on to next. And how great does it look? I love it. It's just the called for DMC with 32 count deep sea glass linen from number 12 Stitch Co. So yeah, excited to get back to that one and get that finished. That was another one my mum said she really likes. I need to get it finished next, and I'm like, it's okay. With my smalls, they're in order. Row of Dogs and then Mermaid's Life. So and no doubt you'll notice that my mermaid's not here this week, which my daughter is not happy about. So I have said I will definitely work on it in the next week. So you should see Cordelia, my Bella Filipina, next week as well. I have been told. So yeah, they're kind of my plans where I'm heading. More on, also on my Black Cat season, keep working on that, and keep working on my mini Witchwood Express. So I guess on to haul. This is belated haul because I got it for Mother's Day, but I haven't done a Flosstube since then. So you would have seen part of this for Mother's Day. I was so lucky, and this actually was, I think, the second last whip I showed in my whip parade. So if you got all the way that far, you will have seen this, but I'll quickly show it again now. This beautiful kit from Gecko Rouge, yeah, is called Love. And it is by Aida Art, and isn't it so beautiful? And I was just so excited when I opened it and saw it and got it. I went, oh. I mean, talking about Space September, isn't it stunning? So gorgeous. So I have started it. I had to stitch on it that day, and that's the only day I've stitched on it. So how far back is it? I've got 1, 2, 3. I've only got 4 full coverage pages to do on other projects before I get back to it. That gives me incentive, I guess. Incentive to keep going on my full coverages. And on that day, I did 1,002 stitches out of 130,200. And so I am at, I better show you my stitching in a minute, shouldn't I? Sorry. I am at 0.77%. So this is, I remember, I'll just get it. Okay, I'm back, I've got it. I forgot I still had it in a Q snap. So this is where I got to, which you're gonna say, Adelaide, aren't you holding it the wrong way? But I am not, because I started in the bottom corner. Because my idea was, if I get some of those trees in, then I have the excitement of filling in the space around it. And I just think those trees will look amazing. So yeah, I don't think I've done a bottom left corner start before, but yeah, very excited. This is on 25 count. It is 2 over 1 tent stitch. So you can see my beautiful parked threads. But yeah, no, a lot of fun, and I can't wait to get back to this one, because I mean, look at that. Look at that, Aida Art. He's such an amazing artist. He has YouTube videos online. He is a watercolorist. So this design was done through watercolor. Like, incredible. Such artistry. So yes, I was very lucky with a new Gecko Rouge kit, and I was extra lucky because I also got this book, which I'm sure a lot of people have seen. I know Katie well, I was going to say and Jeremiah, but actually her channel is called Katie Jeremiah's Mum. I'll link it below. She is really fun, and she got this book too and wants to stitch lots out of it. So hi Katie and Jeremiah. And I am excited to have this book too, Cross Stitch in the Forest by Max Pigeon. So I know there've been lots of flip throughs. A lot of people already finished projects out of it, but yeah, I was very, very lucky. And yeah, I'm not actually, we haven't talked about new starts, have we? So I've had 4 finishes, and I said that every 2 finishes I could have a new start. So I have 2 new starts. Now, problem is I'm torn because there's quite a few things I want to start, like that Primrose Cottage, Winter Quaker. I'm going to have a retreat piece. I said I'd start Take Wing by Mojo Stitches at the retreat as well. So that's 3. That's 3 without any others. So I've got to get some things finished to earn them. Or borrow some from the future, but we will talk about that probably the week after the retreat when you see what I've started. So the page I wanted to show you, because I don't want to show you the charts. There are so many beautiful ones in here. Oh, that's winter. Actually, it's quite apt for me now. Is this one. So there's a section called Nighttime Wonders, and yeah, we were talking about space. I love that one. I love that. I never thought of doing an aurora in purples. Sorry, I hope the glare's not too bad. But how beautiful is it? Like usually you see them in greens and reds, but yeah, I just thought that was really stunning. As well as, yeah, the moths and the night, the sunset. Yeah, so many beautiful designs. So really excited to have this, and yeah, I'm looking forward to doing some stitching from it. So I think that is, yeah, what I had to chat about today, my weekly stitching update. It's lovely to be back a week later when I think I've had some big gaps because of sickness, but I've remained healthy this week. So yeah, very thankful. I am going to insert next in the video my framing tutorial. So if you are interested, yeah, you will see how I frame my pictures, and hopefully it's helpful. So yeah, I'll put that in now, and then I'll film a little bit at the end to say goodbye, and yeah, see you soon. Hi guys, I thought it would be cool to film a framing tutorial. This is Holiday Glow by Satuma Street. Isn't it beautiful? It is stitched with the called for DMC and metallic threads, and I stitched it on 14 count Aida. And I have ironed it, as you can see. It looks really good. much better than usual. Ironing really does make a difference. Now I am going to frame this today, and the frame that I have chosen is this one because I usually do all my Christmas pieces in white. So this was just from our local reject shop. It is an 8 by 10 inch or 20 by 25 centimeter frame. I know it does say also suitable to frame 6 by 8 if you use the mat with it, but I never usually use that. I like mine to go to the edge. I've never used mat, so I usually go by the big size. Now I decided to get that size frame because I measured my piece. So this is my yardstick I have, and I thought, okay, what common framing sizes would fit? And as you can see, the 10 inch went there. I thought, well, that's quite nice. I've got some fabric around it. And if we do the 8 inch, yeah, I was happy with that. I felt it was quite even, the fabric I was having around that. So that's how I decided on the size. And it's funny because you kind of got to work out, well, what frames you can get, because I frame myself. And it's a juggling act, how much fabric you want around it compared to what frames you can get. It's not like I'm making a custom frame myself. I will have links into the description of everything I'm using and what I need. So this frame, it's just, I'm sure you can get very similar ones from Officeworks or Kmart's, Spotlight. I'm in Australia. As I said, this is from the Reject shop here. It's just white with the glass. It did come with a mat that I won't use and the backing stand. So that's that. As well as that, other things I will need to frame, well, I'll need a ruler. So I have a big one here, my yardstick, which is quite handy. And I also have a small clear one, which is just good in measuring how much you've got around the sides when you're stretching it out. So I have this 6.5 by 6.5 inch clear ruler. I also have, moving these up, I have, oh, they were, so sequin and bead pins. Now, these are really, really handy. I love framing using this method rather than lacing, because if you don't like it, you can just take these pins out and change it and make it into that project bag or that quilt, or frame it differently. So hopefully you can see that they're just little pins that we'll use to stretch our cross stitch piece round, and that's how they come. Bread and butter knife, because it's much easier doing lifting these up with that than using your hands. I found that out. Some wadding, so I always put wadding behind my cross stitches. This is just a bit of 100% cotton wadding. Usually I buy the big bolts of cotton wadding they sell from Spotlight when they send out a 40% off coupon, and I need it. And yeah, so this is roughly cut, as you can see, and we will cut it down properly once it's stuck on. This is what we'll be sticking it on. So this is foam core. Now you can just buy plain foam core in big A3 sheets and it comes like this, or you can get, and I got mine from Spotlight, this is a fusible foam core. I think they call it a sticky board in America. And as you can see, I can peel that paper off and it will have the sticky residue that I'll use to stick the wadding to. Now, if I didn't have that, I would be using my very fancy Uhu glue and I just cover it that and put the wadding on. And I have done that when I haven't been able to get fusible foam core, and it has stuck absolutely fine. So you just use what you can, don't you? Now, as well as that, I like to use double-sided tape. You can see I have hardly any left, and this is tiny. I think it's only 1/4 inch. But I just use that to pull the fabric over and stick any down. I very rarely cut down my cross stitches to fit in the frame. I just prefer to, once I've pinned it, to use that tape to stick any excess down. Because as I said, if I want to change it and use the finish in a different way in the future, well then it's very easy to take it off this. It is a bit sticky, but not super sticky. And the other things I will have are scissors. So I will have my fabric scissors with the fabric on them that will be used to cut the wadding. And I always have a pair of other scissors. These are just standard utility scissors. And I'll probably use them to cut the double-sided tape because, yeah, I never use my fabric scissors for anything else. Okay, well, give me a sec and I'm going to get set up and then let's get started. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is prep our frame, and then we're going to prep our cross stitch piece, and then we're going to put them together. So we're at the back of our frame. I'll get our bread and butter knife, and pretty much I just keep this one separate and only use it for craft stuff. There we go, and we'll take it out. So we actually won't use this backboard. The foam core is so thick that it usually doesn't fit unless you have a really deep frame, but I guess because I tend to buy the cheaper frames, yes, they're very rarely deep, the ones I use. I'll take that mat board out, and I'll also take the glass out, and I won't be using that either. So I will just pop that to the side. Okay, so now our frame is ready to go. We'll put that to one side. And we will get our foam core, which here it is, and we will get our batting, and we will pop them together next. So with the batting, I'm just going to lie it down. As you can see, it's got a few creases in it. It came like that off the bolt, but that should be fine. It shouldn't make any difference. And now we're going to get our foam core and find that corner I had before, and we're going to peel it off. If you don't have the sticky foam core or fusible board, this is when you'd put that glue on it. And then, now we've got that out pretty smooth, we are just going to stick this down on it and spread it out. So really it's the pressure that always helps glues stick. So turn it over, see how it looks. Oh, that looks really good. I'm really happy with that. So that is all stuck. And now we will turn it over and grab our scissors, and we will cut the wadding off around it. And I have found this the easiest way. At the beginning, I used to try and cut my wadding 8 by 10 as well, and then try and get them matched up. And that was quite tricky, because sometimes you just didn't cut exactly. Well, I didn't cut exactly. And then I should mention the foam core. So foam core you can get in different sizes. You can get it in small sizes like A5 or A4. I usually buy big sheets like A3 or A2, whatever I can get on sale, usually from Spotlight, but sometimes Officeworks. I find Spotlight sells the fusible foam core while Officeworks doesn't. And then I'm very lucky, I asked my husband to take it down to his workshop and he cuts it to size for me. So I am very, very lucky that he does that. You can cut it yourself. I think he usually uses his Japanese saw. But yes, this is just, I'm lucky he does that part for me. And if you do that part yourself, I definitely do it in a garage or a workshop or outside, because you don't want all those little foam particles which make up the foam core flying around, because they aren't good for you to breathe in. Okay, so that is pretty much done. Maybe a little bit much on the corners. Snip that off. Yeah, I think that is pretty good. So now it is ready for our cross stitch. So let's get our cross stitch. Now I must admit, I am not a person who is incredibly precise. If my husband was doing this, he would have a ruler out and measuring it, and it would be perfect all the way around. That is not me. We're all different. So I'm going to show you how I do it, but by all means, if you're definitely a precise person, go for it, and yes, have it perfect, and it probably will take a little bit longer, but look amazing. But I just do my best. I have them up on my wall and I am happy with them. So yes, that is how we do it. I often find if I do have to leave a little bit more room on one side, I tend to leave more at the bottom. I think if you have it up on a wall, especially at eye level, you're kind of drawn to the top of the piece, but that's just what I've found with framing. So now we have it kind of roughly centered on. I get my sequin and bead pins, and we are going to start popping these in. So I think that's too bad. Let's have a quick look. Helps if I got the ruler the right way. So it's that 1 1/8. 1 1/4. So slightly 2. And that is 1 1/4. So I should bring it down a bit because I don't want that much at the bottom. I don't mind having a little bit more, but that is a bit much. So. Okay, what's that, 1.5? Oh, that's over 1.5 now. So pull it up a bit. It's a little bit fiddly. Okay, that's 1.5. Oh. 1, 7, 8. No, 1 3/4. So that's good. I'm happy with that. This is 1 1/8. This is 1 1/4. So I'm just going to move it slightly that way. Okay, one more time. Okay, 1.5, 1 3/4, 1 1/8. Still just a little bit much. So. Okay, so I think that should do it. That was funny, I moved over a bit and now I feel like I moved over too much. Anyway. One more time. Good luck. 1 1/4. Okay, that is better. I'm happy with that. 1.5 and 1 3/4. Great. Okay, so now I'm just going to put pins. Let's fold that round in the center. Okay, in the center of the top. And the foam core just makes it so easy for them to go in. The center of the bottom. And we'll do the sides. And you can, if you feel, oh no, I want to wiggle it a bit more that way, you can ease it a bit. It's quite forgiving. Like that one. And that one. So in terms of pulling it, I guess I do pull it a little tight, but not extremely tight. Because I want to kind of make sure I've got some things in the right position first. And I can always unpin it and do it a little bit tighter. And I will do that for certain areas, especially towards the end as we go. So now, I'll turn it around and do the top. And put some more in. And it's funny, I usually stitch with even weave. So I am noticing the lines of the Aida more in this. So I guess I will have to think about keeping them straighter. They're more of a guide actually. So you can see I'm putting the pins in the top. So I will go along quite a bit. Okay, and then I'll put a few more on the bottom. So I'll just keep going back and forth and just checking that I am happy with it. Go, put on the other side. So that's what I am going to keep doing round. So you don't have to watch me put every pin in. I'm going to do that now for the sides, and then I will come back and show you and we'll measure it and see what we think of it. Okay, so I'm back and I have put a few pins in on each side. We're now going to measure it and see what we think. And actually, I spoke to my husband before too, and he said with cutting the foam core, if you want to cut it yourself, you can do it with a ruler and a Stanley knife as well. But you probably have to have a few goes, a few passes at it to get it through, maybe do back and front to get it all the way through. So that's a good tip, I thought, as well, if you'd like to cut it to what size you want. Okay, so let's get our ruler and do some measuring. So that's 1 1/4. Is that right? Oh, just under 1 1/4 actually. So that is 1 1/8, 1 1/2, 1 3/4. Okay, so that is okay. I'm pretty happy with that. It's going to look quite good in the frame. So I am going to keep going and do some corners. So to do some corners, I'll turn it over and we are going to fold the fabric straight one way. And this actually can be where your double-sided tape comes in handy. You can cut a bit. Stick it on. And then, this is the tricky bit. Yeah, get it off and pop that on. I must apologise for the stray black hairs. I have 2 cats, one's a tabby cat and one's a black cat, and they are very interested and involved in everything I do. So their hair gets everywhere. But anyway, we do our best to try and clean it up. Okay, so I am going to do the next one. And I'm just going to pull that back and pop that there. And I'm going to bring that down. That is good. That sticks. Now with this, I know this isn't glamorous the way I've got it up. It's a bit like we've mitered it, but we haven't done it properly. But that's okay. We are just going to fold that down. Like that. And stick a pin in it. And that's going to hold it down. And that's why I said if you want to undo this and use it, do another finish in the future, it's really easy. You just iron it and your pinholes, they close up. Because I'm putting these pins in at angles, they won't go all the way through. If we turn it around and have a look. Yeah, that looks quite good. I'm happy with that. And then we are going to pin both sides all the way up to that corner. So I'll do that now so I can show you how that looks. And as you can see, how far are my pins apart? They're not exactly even. What's that? 1/2 inch, sometimes just over 1/2 inch. So 1 centimetre, I guess, if you're in Australia, just over 1 centimetre. It's funny, even though I'm in Australia and we use metric, because so much of what we see and have to use and is quoted in imperial, the inches, yes, I talk in them a lot. All right. Let's see how that's looking. I think that's looking really nice. That's going to fit in the frame nicely. 2 more. All right, here we go. So that is 1 corner. Nicely done. Let's do another corner. Hopefully that was in camera, but this one should be. Okay, so we are going to get our double-sided tape and pop it down. I'm going to pull it up, pull it across. And I'll have the brand of this double-sided tape in the description. And I might need just to put a little bit in the middle. Just so it doesn't like flap. You really have to rub it down. There you go. You pull it up, so there we go. That's quite good. All right, we're going to do another piece of double-sided tape. we go, got it up. And once again, we're going to lie that down. We're going to bring that across. We're going to lie that down so it's nice and flat. We're going to pull that up. And we are going to fold it. So I've got it up. Just fold it to the left. I want that corner to be, I guess, quite tight. So you pull it and fold it down. I guess like that. And that's looking quite tight. And then I'll stick my pins in. Smooth that down. So as you can see, generally it's a lot quicker than lacing as well. Put that down, let's double check, see what we think. Okay, so as you can see, I have a tiny bump there that I am not that happy with. Can you see it just there, just where the fold is? So I am going to pull that down and tuck that under. Yep, that bump looks smooth now and gone, and I'm going to put a pin in it. Not that I guess it really matters. I mean, it's right at the edge of the frame, and hopefully no one's going to be there staring at the edges of my frame. But yes, I think that looks a lot better. All right, so I am going to go and do that for the next two corners up the top, and then I'll rejoin you and we'll pop it in our frame. See you soon. Okay, so we are back, and as you can see, I have finished. I have done all the corners. I have pinned it all the way around. And it's pinned down the back, and it's double-sided tape so it doesn't flip up either. And I'm pretty happy with the amount I have at the top, bottom, at the sides, and I'm also pretty happy with my corners. I think they're pretty good. So now let's try it in the frame. So I have my frame here. I have it upside down with the tabs all up. And let's put it in and see what we think. So I've got actually, okay, so it's been cut with a little bit of room, which won't matter when I put the tabs down, but we'll see. Oh, look at that. Oh, I love that. That's really good. I think it looks fantastic. So I'm happy, and I'm going to pop the tabs down and see how it looks. So let's do that. Turn it over. Okay, so we are just going to use the bread and butter knife to squish them down. I do have, let's do that one first. There we go. So they should all push each other down. It's just, there we go. Okay, and let's turn that over and have a look. That's not bad. I think I need it a little bit closer on that side. You see there's a tiny, tiny gap. So let's just push that one up. And push this one up. Got it. I'm just going to move it over a little bit. Okay. There we are. There we go. I am so happy with that. Isn't that lovely? Now, if you don't want to just like leave it on your buffet or your mantelpiece or wherever you'd like to put it, then usually I get these, but I realise I need to go buy some. So I'm going to show you on a different one. This is my Witch's Lean. I think it was the first piece I ever framed myself, and I had a little laugh when I turned it around because it's so neat. Obviously, as I've got more confident, I have got a little bit less neater, but anyway. These are the 3M, the Velcro strips. So as you can see, we just put them on the edges of the frame. there and there. Sometimes if it's a big one, I'll do 4, but this one, as you can see, this is A4 size. So it's a little bit bigger than the 8 by 10 inch, and I've only done 2, and that has been fine and really stuck well. And these are really good if you don't want to make holes in the walls, which, yeah, it's always good not to, especially if you want to move pictures around. So yes, the 3M Velcro tabs we put in, and I'll have them in the description as well. So that is my framing tutorial. So I have a piece FFO'd, how exciting. I can't ask for much more than that. I just want to say something about taking the glass out. I've never ever had an issue with it. I know people worry about dust and things like that, but this is the first one I ever did, and I did it in 2022, and it would have been like October, probably October. I think I had it done for Halloween that year, and you can see it's really good. I mean, just dust every now and then, and my cross stitch is still really beautiful. So I'm not worried about not having glass. And if I do ever want to change it, it is very easy just to unpin and take these off. Even the double-sided tape we put on, it's not super sticky, it's not super strong, that brand. So yeah, it's quite easy to change and use how you want. So thank you so much for watching my tutorial. I hope it was helpful if you want to frame yourself but want to do it quite quickly and I guess comparatively quite cheaply. I mean, my frame from the reject shop, I think it was $7 Australian. I would have had to buy foam core. I know if you buy an A4 piece, you're looking at about $5 Australian, and then you would have to get pins. That'd be the other thing, pins and tape. So you're looking at a few dollars each for them, and obviously once you've got your synchro and bead pins, you can see I have heaps left to do more, so they're going to last for a while. And same with the double tape. I mean, this started off quite thick and this has lasted for a while too. So yeah, it's how I framed everything. It's been a really good method and it's working for me. So I really hope it was helpful for you too. Thanks so much for watching, guys. I'll see you soon. Bye. Okay, so hopefully, yeah, showing you how I frame was helpful. I am very, very excited to have that piece FFO'd and up on my wall. I'm hoping next time I will be able to show you it up there, and I will have to get some more of those 3M Velcro tags. I didn't realize I was out until today. Well, until I filmed that to, yeah, so I can put it up on the wall. So yeah, thank you so much everyone for watching my weekly stitching update. Thanks for all the comments, the likes, the subscribes. I've just appreciated the support so much. Thank you so much for all the ideas. I had someone suggest 25 finishes for the year 2025, and I thought, well, I showed 10 last week and I got 4 done, so I'm up to 14. So maybe I should be looking at that and planning that out, because that would be pretty cool, wouldn't it? And I'd remember that in years to come. Oh, I finished 25 things in 2025. So yeah, it's just, it's so exciting, and it's lovely we can share our enthusiasm for this cross stitch hobby. So let me know what you have been stitching on and what the weather's like where you are at the moment. We are pretty cold at the moment. Yeah, I mean, it's relative, isn't it? I think we're about 14 degrees Celsius today. So that's our high. That's our high. So don't crucify me too much. I know that is a pretty pathetic cold. But you know what? I guess my house, a lot of houses in Australia, we don't have central heating. So maybe that's why we feel the cold that much. I mean, it's important to have fans and air conditioners, especially in summer, because we get hot. We get hot, you need them. But when it gets to winter, we kind of, I guess we can put our air cons on hot, or I'm very lucky, I do have in the living room a gas fire, but it's not like every room in the house is being heated. So you try and find the warm spots. Anyway, yes, I enjoy winter. I mean, it's not... I enjoy winter. My birthday's in winter, so I have to, don't I? I'm a winter baby here. But yes, yeah, it is what it is, and it makes me appreciate the heat when we are warm. All right, well, I hope you have a great week. I hope you're having a lovely time with your stitching, and I will see you next week. Bye.